and gentlemen, may I have your attention please? 2022 Korea Eureka Day, the opening ceremony will begin in a while. So please come inside and take your seats, and please remember to turn your mobile phones into silent or vibrant mode. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to begin, please take your seats and turn your cell phones into mobile mode. Thank you very much. and gentlemen, the 2022 Korea Eureka Day begins now. Innovation for a Sustainable Future. Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2022 Korea Eureka Day with me, Shin-jie, as your MC. Well, it is my pleasure to open the 2022 Korea Eureka Day. This is an event that is hosted by the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy of Korea and the Portuguese Eureka Presidency. And it is organized by the Korea Institute for Advancement of Technology, KIET. Well, as we are gradually overcoming this global pandemic, it is overwhelming to hold this Korea Eureka Day once again offline. However, in order to welcome more guests, we're streaming live this program through the YouTube channel of KIET. Well, 2022 Korea Eureka Day will be with you for 2 days, starting today, the 22nd of June, until tomorrow, the 23rd. Well, especially this year, as we would love to talk together about the better future in the digital and the green technology industry, we have prepared various programs such as the keynote speech, business-to-business matchmaking, and idea pitching. So please make sure that you stay with us and have a meaningful time. And now, to officially open today's event, it is my pleasure to invite to the stage the host, President Seo Kyung-chul of Korea Institute for Advancement of Technology. Please welcome the President with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Young-chul Seo, President of Korea Institute for Advancement of Technology. I sincerely welcome all of you participating in Korea Eureka Day 2022. I'm so delighted that we are finally hosting, after 2 years of COVID pandemic, the 13th Korea Eureka Day in Portugal, the center of beautiful Atlantic cities, oceans. I would like to express my gratitude to the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy of Korea, the Portuguese Eureka Chair, and other relevant organizations for supporting this event. I hope that Korea Eureka Day 2022 continues to be the center of global solidarity and cooperation toward sustainable growth between Korea and Europe. Being the leader of green and digital industries, Europe has persistently contributed to sustainable futures. The European Commission has set 6 priorities in 2019: Green Deal for digitalization and climate change was one of those priorities. In particular, Europe undertakes significant efforts to achieve carbon neutrality by investing 30% of budget between 2021 and 27 against climate change and preparing a bill to introduce a carbon border tax. The Korean government also set Korean-style sustainable development goals, and it has invested 14.9 billion euros in green and digital industries since 2019. The Yoon Suk-yeol administration announced to launch a digital trade roadmap within 2022. Under this roadmap, Korea will actively participate in multilateral discussions to strengthen environmental protection. In line with this, KIAT will support sustainable innovation by realizing the value of carbon neutrality and digital transformation. Korea has been holding Korea Eureka Day since 2010, along with the Global Innovation Summit by the Eureka Chairmanship. Through the Korea Eureka Day events, Korea has supported more than 3,000 technical cooperation meetings between Korean and European companies. Korea has also become a reliable green technology partner for European innovators to fulfill the common goal of sustainable futures. For example, the number of Eureka projects in the digital and energy sectors has increased by 150% between 2020 and 2021. Korea Eureka Day 2022 is even more meaningful to realize that globalization of Eureka as Korea has become a full member country of Eureka since today. I invite you to gain better knowledge of Korea's green hydrogen and digital strategies under the theme of sustainability. In addition, there are one-on-one meetings with 20 Korean companies, academia, and research institutions on the following day. Dear participants, in the 15th century, Portuguese pioneers could open the age of discovery by enduring several months on the threatening sea with the hope for new life and possibilities. At the moment, we are going through difficult times due to abnormal climate change, aging population, and slow economic growth. We can overcome this current crisis and even celebrate a prosperous future if we constantly cooperate with each other to achieve a sustainable future. I sincerely hope you explore Korean technology partners through this Korea Eureka Day to find yourself as a future innovation leaders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President, for your remarks. As the President have mentioned, if we constantly cooperate with each other, we will be able to overcome this current crisis and achieve a sustainable future together. And now, moving on, representing the Portuguese Eureka Chairmanship, we are going to hear a welcome remarks from the Chairman of Eureka, Dr. Miguel Belo Moura. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Well, Honorable Son Sun Hwan, Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Energy, Honorable Dr. John Chol-seok, President of the Korean Institute of Advanced Technology, KIAT, and Honorable Cheon Jung Park, Director General of KIAT. Dear friends, it's, well, good afternoon, first of all. It is a great honor to be invited. We thank you very much for this invitation for this important Korea Day within the Global Innovation Summit 2022 here in Cascais and Estoril within the Portuguese presidency of Eureka. From the very beginning of the Portuguese chairmanship, we have as main goal to increase the global outreach of the network, and that was top priority. And in this sense, we thank you very much, Korea, accepting to be full member. It was already a reliable associate and partner country, but this is an important step, and this brings a lot of value. It is a honor in the network to have such an outstanding member within our group. Today, Korea is the world's 10th largest economy. But not only that, Korea is also one of the world key players in research and innovation. And many Korean companies are technology leaders in their domains. In addition to that, Korea is committed to translate the Sustainable Development Goals into the national policies and plans. That's very important because you see that the main topic, the main message of today's summit, it's sustainability. But furthermore, in our world, today, we cannot understand the day-to-day without Korean technology. All around the world, we drive very reliable Korean cars. We all use very sophisticated Korean smartphones. We are using high-resolution Korean satellites. There is no domain where Korean technology is in a leading position. This is amazing what the country has achieved, and we really thank and recognize that. For that reasons, we can say today that the incorporation of Korea as full member, the Eureka network now has more value than ever, and that the international collaboration in research and innovation with Korean organizations is going to be in the future a very important asset for our network. Thank you very much, and I wish you a fruitful Korean Day. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Chairman Miguel Bello Mora. Well, as he have mentioned, today we start a new day with Korea as a full member, and he has just emphasized how important it is to work together for a sustainable future. So let us do that together starting today. And now moving on, we have the Deputy Minister Hwang Soo-sung of Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy of Korea, who will deliver a congratulatory remarks. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Korea Eureka Days. I'd like to begin by offering my sincere congratulations on the 13th Korea Eureka Day here in Estoril, a beautiful city in Portugal. I would also like to express my gratitude to Dr. Miguel Bello, the Portugal Eureka chairperson, and Dr. Young-Chul Seo, President of KIAT, and Eureka member state and participants for your hard work at preparing this event. As of this morning, Korea has become a full member country of Eureka. Before Korea joined Eureka as the first non-European associate member in 2009, the Eureka network was limited to only European countries. Nevertheless, Korea has contributed to Eureka's globalization and technological innovation as the only partner country of Eureka since 2018. The Korean government has funded 140 million euros in 200 projects through Eureka. Furthermore, about 400 companies, academia, and research institutes in Korea has cooperated with 1,200 Eureka partners to create new market opportunity and develop innovative products. For example, Ditonic, a small-sized Korean company, has cooperated with Institute of Telecommunication in Portugal to develop a big data platform that provides a real-time load information map. Following its accession to full Eureka membership, Korea will continue to work with global partners to further enhance cooperation in the future. Recently, sustainable growth through carbon neutrality and digital transformation has become an inevitable new global economic order. Nevertheless, there are limits to innovation undertaken by only single individual or country alone, such as we must promote innovation at the global level and swiftly promote a technological paradigm shift through strategic cooperation between countries. In this regard, we are set to discuss carbon neutrality and digital transformation under the theme of innovation for sustainable future during today's Korea Eureka Day. In particular, the Korean government is significantly expanding its investment in the digital transformation and climate change response. Furthermore, leading Korean companies are also sparing no effort to ensure their complete preparation for brighter future. By working together and collaborating with European innovators, researching and developing advanced technology in the green and digital field, Korean companies are expected to achieve outstanding results on the global stage. In this vein, through Eureka, the world's largest technology cooperation platform, we hope to exchange technology strategy, discover new cooperation partners, and prepare for the future. Since the establishment of diplomatic ties in 1963, Korea and the EU have cooperated in various areas such as politics, economics, science and technology, and culture for over 60 years. And the technology lies at the very center of this cooperation. The EU has long been a strong supporter of industrial development in Korea. With that said, I hope to see Korea and Europe maintain our closer partnership in cutting-edge technology and supply chain through technical cooperation. I have no doubt that Korea Eureka Day will establish a solid foundation for ongoing collaboration in this year ahead. Once again, I warmly welcome the chairperson of Eureka and all other participants here today, and thank you all for preparing this wonderful event. I hope that today's event will have a good result. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Deputy Minister. As he have mentioned, Korea Eureka Day will be a solid foundation for our ongoing cooperation. So, as mentioned already, today gains more meaning in the sense that we have gathered after enduring a dark tunnel, which is the global pandemic. And it is also a new start as Korea joins as a full member of Eureka. So, in order to cherish this moment, we're going to take a group photo together. So, may I invite the distinguished guests to join us on the stage for the photo. Yes, well, for more than a decade, Korea has endured as an associate member, and today, as Korea joins as a full member, we are going to witness the birth of a global Eureka. So in order to, well, congratulate the birth of the global Eureka, we're going to take a group photo together. Yes, we have diverse distinguished guests here joining us in the room. Can we move a little bit to the right so that we can have the center? Yes. Yes, with the Deputy Minister in the center, can we adjust a little bit to the right? Thank you very much. Let us take the photo standing still first. Please face the main camera on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And now to congratulate the birth of a global Eureka, why don't we send a big round of applause? Congratulations on the birth of a new Eureka. And this will be all for the photo session. Thank you very much for joining us. You may now go back to your seats. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us to celebrate the birth of a new Eureka. And afterwards, we will be beginning the keynote speeches. Well, for today, we have 3 keynote speeches. And once again, let me remind you that this program is being live streamed through the YouTube channel of KIET. Well, to introduce to you the lineup of our keynote speeches, first of all, we have the Vice President Moon Sang-jin of Division of R&D and New Business at Tucson Fuel Cell, who will be touching upon the trends and prospects for hydrogen energy industry. And followed by the Dr. Lee Yang-gu, the Senior Researcher of Cognition and Transportation at ATRI, who will be covering the strategy for utilizing digital twins. And finally, we have KIET's Director General Park Chun-gyu, who will be touching upon the best cases of Korea-Europe technological cooperation. So now, to begin our keynote speeches, I would like to invite Vice President Moon Sang-jin from Tucson Fuel Cell to talk about the innovation of hydrogen energy industry in Korea. Please give him a big round of applause.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests from European country and Korea. My name is Moon Sang-jin, working at Tucson Fuel Cell. It is very honor for me to give a talk to dear guests for sharing some information on hydrogen policy and a brief industry trend in Korea as such a beautiful Lisbon, not Astro, Lisbon. When I was walking around enjoying beautiful scenery here yesterday, I was feeling like the nice and gentle breeze welcomes me, saying like that, oh, okay, or welcome to Astro, you got a good job here in Astro, okay? So I hope it's gonna work. But before I start my speech, I want to ask you to accept my deep apology that I might give you a little bit shallow information under pressure of a limited time. So, my speech today will cover these 4 topics. I'll start with an overview of Korea's energy statistics. I will then explain Korean government's hydrogen policy and share some achievement and industrial statistics. Next will be a short introduction to fuel cells. And the end of speech, I will introduce Tucson Fuel Cell because the company is one of the major companies in the hydrogen business in Korea. I'm going to start with the current status of Korea's annual energy imports, production, and consumption with this energy balance flow. The numbers you see here are data from 2020. Based on the raw materials, 92.8% of energy is imported from overseas, and about 7.2% is produced in Korea itself. A large portion of domestically produced energy is from renewable energy and other sector. When looking at consumption, the city gas, the natural gas, and thermal energy is distributed to industry, the home and commercial sector, and transportation. Electricity consumed mostly by industry and the household and commercial sector, while transportation accounts for only 0.6%, which is still low. Here you can see the annual status of power generation facilities by domestic fuel sources. As shown in the graph on the left side, the proportion of nuclear and fossil fuels is high, but the proportion of renewable energy is gradually increasing. And as of the end of 2021, about 18% of the power generation facilities are from renewable energy. The graph on the right side shows the annual status of the renewable energy power generation facilities from the 2012 to 2021. The Korean government has been trying to reduce its dependence on energy imports by securing new energy sources such as renewable energy and hydrogen by domestic technology and replacing fossil fuels consumption. By applying Korea's renewable energy power generation and hydrogen production technology overseas, and then getting back produced hydrogen into Korea, Korean government plans to increase the energy independence from outside, hoping that dreams come true to be independent country in terms of energy. I will talk a brief story about the Korea government's hydrogen and renewable energy support policy and related industry status in Korea. Starting with the hydrogen law and regulation. The first one is RPS. RPS stands for the Renewable Portfolio Standards. In January 2012, the RPS replaced the previous feed-in tariff systems in order to accelerate Korea's renewable energy deployment with the goal of creating a competitive market environment for this sector. The RPS program requires the GENCOs with an installed power capacity of larger than 500 megawatt to steadily increase the new energy, such as fuel cell power generation and renewable energy portion of their total power generation. Yearly RPS targets will be reviewed and adjusted every 3 years by the government. After the implementation of this system, the annual mandatory supply volume has been continuously increasing. When the GENCOs, which has the mandatory quota in the RPS, generate a certain amount of power generation from new energy and the renewable energy, then they receive an equivalent amount of renewable energy certificate we call the RACs. And they can also meet their mandatory quota by purchasing RACs from the markets supplied by private small generator, or mid or long-term contract from special purpose companies. Then next one is CHPS, the Clean Hydrogen Portfolio Standard. In January 2019, the Korean government announced the first hydrogen economy roadmap to promote the R&D and deploy hydrogen intensively as an important source of energy. On January 4th, 2020, the Korean government promulgated the Hydrogen Economy Promotion and Hydrogen Safety Management Act, called the Hydrogen Act, which came into force on February 5th, 2021, and is now the central legislation and regulating the hydrogen industry. In June 2021, it was proposed to revise the Hydrogen Act to establish a clean hydrogen energy portfolio standard and a national clean hydrogen certification scheme. CHPS is a system intended to separate hydrogen power generation as a new energy from the existing RPS and prepare a support system that considers the characteristics of the renewable energy and hydrogen power generation and promote the use of clean hydrogen in hydrogen power generation. It was promulgated on June 10, 2020, and is expected to be implemented at the end of this year. The CHPS is expected to provide a separate bidding market from other renewable sources like solar and wind power, which reflect the characteristics of hydrogen and to increase the deployment of fuel cell and other hydrogen-based power generation. We are now looking at the status of the Korea government's R&D investment in the hydrogen economy. In near future, as time goes by, with the decrease in hydrogen production cost and the completion of related basic technology development, Korea government makes plan expecting that the scale of support for mass production would be strengthened for technologies that have entered the commercialization stage. With the aim of taking bold preemptive action, the Korean government has significantly expanded R&D investment in the hydrogen economy and related technology, which result the triple the national investment over the last 2 years to approximately 230 billion Korean won and like 170 million euros in 2021. Here are some major R&D achievements in Korea. Korea is seen as one of the global leader in the development of hydrogen project with many recent and ambitious plans and announcements. It has been developing the hydrogen technology in major sectors of the economy, such as electricity, energy, transportation, and commercial, retail, and maritime ships. Korea is now expanding the supply of hydrogen refueling stations, which is the core infrastructure of hydrogen mobility. Over the past 3 years, the number of refueling stations has increased by 8 times, the fastest growth rate in the world. Since the announcement of the hydrogen economy roadmap in January 2019, the supply of hydrogen vehicles and stationary fuel cells for power generation has been the world's highest growth rate. In 2020, Korea became the first country in the world to produce 10,000 hydrogen fuel cell electric cars and achieve 70.3% market share in the global hydrogen car market. In terms of the fuel cell power generation facilities, they are doubled over the past 3 years from 2018 to 2021, leading the growth of hydrogen power generation market. The following is the current status of the hydrogen industry in Korea. I'm going to introduce the hydrogen value chain by dividing it into production, storage, and transportation, and utilization. Starting with the hydrogen production. In Korea, like other countries, currently hydrogen production is mostly depending on the gray hydrogen rather than green hydrogen. And byproduct hydrogen from the petrochemical process of petrochemical companies such as SK Chemicals and Lotte Chemicals, or byproduct hydrogen from the steel production process of the steel companies such as POSCO and Hyundai Steel, are the main hydrogen production sources. In addition, the global industrial gas companies such as Linde, Air Product, and Air Liquid are producing reformed hydrogen from natural gas. Green hydrogen is still a very early stage for mass production due to several factors in Korea, especially for the high production cost. But I strongly believe that near future, the clean or green hydrogen will be a major part of the hydrogen production industry. Tucson is currently developing PAM electrolyzer and solid oxide electrolyzer to produce green hydrogen, and will start its demonstration of the PAM electrolyzer facilities with the Korean government support from end of this year. SK Group is approaching this business in slightly different direction. They have established the joint ventures as SK Plug Hyverse and Bloom SK Fuel Cell with Plug Power and Bloom Energy of the United States, respectively, and are trying to introduce Plug Power and Bloom Energy's electrolyzer technology to Korea and Asia to catch up the market in short period of time. And also, Korea's Hanwha Group is trying to enter the market by developing AEM and ion exchange membrane water electrolysis facilities. Additionally, several small and medium-sized companies in Korea are developing and demonstrating various sizes of PAM and alkaline electrolyzer in Korea. Next is next is hydrogen storage and transportation. There is not yet currently commercialized storage technology for hydrogen other than gas-phase high-pressure storage. Technologies such as liquefaction, LOHC, and ammonia are in the development stage, and Korea is also currently developing these kind of technologies. SK, Tucson, and Hyosung are working with global industrial gas companies to build liquefaction plants and supply hydrogen. And Hyundai Motor Group is investing in various fields such as the development of hydrogen tanks for fuel cell electric vehicles and LOHC for hydrogen transportation. However, most of the hydrogen produced in Korea is still transported by tube trailers using gas-phase high-pressure storage. And some industrial gas companies are supplying hydrogen through pipelines to limited extent and limited area. Korean industry gas companies such as Dokyeong and Daesung supply byproduct hydrogen from petrochemical plants and some of their own reformed hydrogen, mostly via tube trailers. SK Group, which preemptively built liquefied natural gas infrastructure in Korea, and Korea Gas Corporation, which supplies most of the country's natural gas, are aiming to supply hydrogen through hydrogen pipelines in the mid or long-term plans. Finally, I will introduce hydrogen utilization by dividing it into power generation, mobility, and vehicle charging. Korea is one of the leading countries in hydrogen applications. It has the largest fuel cell market for power generation in the world with the United States, and the largest number of hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles. As a result, the construction of a hydrogen refueling station is progressing at a very rapid pace. Starting with development, Tucson Fuel Cell and Mcfc Fuel Cell are two leading companies in the Korean hydrogen power generation market. Tucson Fuel Cell is Korea's #1 fuel cell company for power generation. Quickly, we are commercializing Pafc, phosphoric acid fuel cell, and supplying more than 1,000 Pafc fuel cells to the Korean market. Tucson is yet the only company operating the largest, the 50 megawatt fuel cell power generation, just run on pure hydrogen. And also, the company is developing next generation solid oxide fuel cells for power generation and ships in cooperation with the United Kingdom's Ceres Power. SK Group is aggressively entering the Korean fuel cell power generation market in cooperation with the Bloom Energy's SOFC technology of the United States, and also planning to supply Mcfc through Plug Power by their joint ventures. Besides the fuel cell, gas turbines run on hydrogen partly or entirely are being developed by Tucson and Hanwha. For mobility, there are about 20,000 hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle in operation in Korea. Hyundai has already launched fuel cell electric vehicles and fuel cell buses and occupies most of the global market. Hyundai is also about to release other kinds of commercial vehicles, such as heavy-duty trucks and trams. And Tucson also has a plan to launch a hydrogen bus through collaboration with the Canadian company, the Ballard Power System, to enter the new market and expand its business area. In the charging or refueling station market, we call it HRS, hydrogen refueling station. The infrastructure has been built mainly by the special purpose company, SPCs, which is mainly joint of private and state-owned company. Cohygen and HyNet are the two major HRS operators, and they are building most of new HRS to operate and expand its market share. Most refueling stations receive gas-based hydrogen through tube trailers, and is expected that on-site generation with CCS technology and liquefied forms will gradually replace and share the HRS market. And next, I'm going to give a brief introduction to fuel cells. The main reason why I am trying to explain the fuel cell from now on is that the fuel cell can give a huge benefit as a major power generation technology available from the small scale as distributed generation to utility scale run on hydrogen as a fuel in the hydrogen economy. This will be a little bit boring for you, but they classify the fuel cells, what kind of electrolyte they use, such as polymer, acid, and carbonate, or oxide. Yeah, I know there are lots of jargon here, but This classification determines the kind of electrochemical reaction that take place in the cell and the kind of catalyst that required for reaction, and operation temperature range, and fuel requirement, and other factors. These characteristics, in turn, affect the final application as a product for which these fuel cells are most suitable. First, Pafc stands for Polymor Electrolyte fuel cell, deliver a high power density and offer the advantages of low weight and volume compared with other fuel cells. PEM fuel cells use a solid polymer as an electrolyte and porous carbon electrode containing a platinum or platinum alloy catalyst. PEM fuel cells operate at a relatively low temperature, around 80 degrees Celsius. Low temperature operation allows them to start quickly and result in less wear on system components, resulting in better durability. PEM fuel cells are particularly suitable for vehicle applications such as cars, buses, and short-range ships, and also small-scale under 10 kilowatt stationary power generation for home and small buildings are also widely used, deployed, especially in Korea and Japan. And the next one is Pafc phosphoric acid fuel cells use liquid phosphoric acid as an electrolyte and porous carbon electrode containing a platinum catalyst. The Pafc is considered the first generation of modern fuel cells. It is one of the most mature fuel cell types and the first to be used commercially. The type of fuel cell is typically used for stationary power generation. It has more than around 85 to 90% total efficiency when it applied the combined heat and power. And next one is Mcfc molten carbonate fuel cell are currently being developed for natural gas and coal-based power plants for electrical utility and industrial and military applications. Mcfc is very high temperature fuel cell that mostly operate around 580 degrees Celsius that use an electrolyte composed of a molten carbonate salt mixture suspended in a porous ceramic lithium aluminum oxide matrix. Due to high temperature and corrosive electrolyte, these might be the problem sources of its durability. And the last one is SOFC, solid oxide fuel cell, use a hard, non-porous ceramic compound as an electrolyte. It can show more than 60% efficiency at converting fuel to, fuel to electricity. If the system designed for combined heat and power, its overall system efficiency could reach up to 85%. The high operation temperature as high as 1,000 degrees Celsius allows SOFC to reform fuels internally in the system, we call it internal reforming, which enables to run a variety of fuels like natural gas, LPG, methanol, ammonia, and reduce the associated cost of adding reformer outside of the system. Its very high temperature operation has also disadvantages like MCFC in terms of durability and also strict requirement of the components material. Now, we will look at the status of how many stationary fuel cells for power generation are operating in Korea. Oh, thank you. it helps. As of the end of December 2021, the number of fuel cell power plants in operation in Korea is 753 megawatt, and the number of power plant, the facilities under construction is 272 megawatt. By fuel cell types in operation, Pafc is the most common type, and followed by Mcfc and Sfc. But unfortunately, these days, there has been a sharp increase in the deployment of SOFC technology. The last part is now I will introduce our company, Tucson Fuel Cell. Yeah, Tucson Fuel Cell is a successor of the United Technology Corporation in the United States, which supplied fuel cell to the Apollo Space Shuttle in 1969. It was the first to successfully commercialize a fuel cell power plant in the 1970s, and completed the commercialization of 200 kilowatt class fuel cell in the 1980s. In 2014, Tucson acquired this technology and business by merger and acquisition. And then Tucson Fuel Cell was launched. Tucson Fuel Cell currently has a Pafc manufacturing facility in Iksan, Korea, which produced 90 megawatt annually, and plans to expand its capacity to 275 this year. And also in Connecticut, United States, we also have a plant, the manufacturing facility with an annual capacity of 60 megawatt. And also for future, we are building a 50 megawatt scale SOFC manufacturing facility in Saemangeum, Korea. Looking at the global installation and operation status of Tucson fuel cells, there are currently 478 megawatt in operation and 112 megawatt under construction. This page shows a portfolio of fuel cell system technology development based on the Tucson Fuel Cell's mid to long-term business strategy. While Tucson Fuel Cell is continuously upgrading our Pafc technology and expanding its applications in the fuel cell market for power generation, we are also developing a new technology, solid oxide fuel cell, to concrete the domestic and global market. And in early 2024, our solid oxide fuel cell will make its debut on the market. For the hydrogen production technology, we have planned to enter the market by PEM electrolyzer for green hydrogen production, and also PEM electrolyzer and Trigen. I'm gonna explain next. And Trigen will be a good solution for HRS clients. In addition, in the mobility, we have a business expansion plan for entering marine vessel business by the development of SOFC for ships and commercial vehicles like buses by PEM technology. This is the Tucson Fuel Cell's representative model, the pure, not fuel, pure cell M400 model is divided into NG, LPG, and hydrogen models by its using fuels. In combined heat and power operation, overall efficiency can reach up to 90%. A very efficient power generation system. One fuel cell unit generates 440 kilowatt electricity and around 460 kilowatt heat for the local heating. We have just developed a new product called Trigen. Trigen means it can produce electricity, heat, and hydrogen simultaneously. It produces high purity hydrogen in conjunction with PSA, pressure swing absorption, and it is possible to flexibly control production according to demand up to 220 kilogram per unit per day. We expect this technology would apply multi or mega station business, which satisfy to charge electric vehicle and fuel cell electric vehicle simultaneously at just one place without delivering any hydrogen from tube trailers. To expand and concrete the fuel cell market with legacy Pafc technology and new technology, we are accelerating in the development of competitive solid oxide fuel cell. The solid oxide fuel cell we are developing in cooperation with the UK Cirrus Power, as I mentioned, and has a lower operating temperature than existing other companies' SFC, which enables us to develop a system with low degradation rate, I mean the long lifetime, and high efficiency and long lifetime, yeah. Tucson has a competitive edge for developing an optimized SFC system based on the technology and experience of Pafc development, and wide range of site operation experience and data also are strong arms to develop the system. At this point, I'd like to emphasize that our development of SOFC has been strongly supported by the Korean government, Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy, National R&D Program. Mr. Wang, please stand up for a moment, please. Big applause, please. Verification as a commercial product will be completed in third quarter of 2023, and installation and commercial operation will proceed in 2024. From now on, I will introduce the major commercial side as some examples where Tucson fuel cells are operated. In 2017, Busan Green Energy, located in Busan City, the second largest city in Korea, built around 30 megawatt fuel cell facility in the middle of the town. This commercial fuel cell power plant has supplied electricity to nearby apartment complex and general hospital too, and heat for local heating to 47,000 households. I would like to show a short video clip about Busan Green Energy. I hope this video clip would help you to understand how fuel cells power plant can give a huge benefit as a distributed power generation solution for a metropolitan area. Can you please start the video? This is the power plant. the multi-storage power plant in the middle of the city. In a moment, you can see in front of the power plant there are a huge apartment complex and the hospital nearby the power plant. You see? Nobody who lives in the area doesn't acknowledge this is a power plant. They think it's just the building. One of my proud project I'm going to introduce you. In July 2020, Hanwha Energy Corporation completed construction of a 50 megawatt fuel cell plant in Tucson industrial complex with our system. The importance of this fuel cell power plant in hydrogen economy is that this is the first and still the largest commercially operating power plant just run on hydrogen. Just run on hydrogen, not natural gas. The electricity generate this fuel cell power plant transmit to 160,000 households in Chungnam province. And this project, the Gwangju Biko Eco Plant, which is currently under construction with the target of completion in 2022, this year, is the world's first fuel cell power plant with the dual fuel. It can use both natural gas and LPG too, with the capacity of around 12 megawatt that can be used by 33,000 households. And it has the unique advantage for operator that is able to selectively operate natural gas or LPG depending on the fuel cell price fluctuation. In 2014, around 6 megawatt fuel cell was installed for the purpose of supplying baseload energy to the data center for Verizon in San Jose, California, United States. Compared to other conventional generator, gas engine or gas turbines, fuel cell system can maintain high quality critical power 24/7. Demanding on especially data centers. It is also being used as an emergency backup power and with the absorption chiller, it is used to provide efficient cooling for data center. Both are Coca-Cola bottling company in the United States. One is located in Connecticut, down is located in New York. The upper one is the power output adjust according to the fluctuating demand side fluctuation. The load following, and whereas the downside, the Coca-Cola plant in New York, it is operating at a base load that provide constant power 24/7 for the plant. It's quite different operation mode. This is one of my brilliant idea. This is a unique application for fuel cell run on natural gas, not hydrogen, not yet. Run on natural gas for very low temperature refrigerated warehouse, which has to maintain its temperature around minus 50 degrees Celsius. The basic concept of this power plant is it used the heat of vaporization from liquefied natural gas to gaseous natural gas. When liquid-phase natural gas vaporized to gas-phase natural gas, it absorbed the heat from the surrounding. At this time, the gas-phase natural gas can be supplied to fuel cell to generate electricity and heat to provide hot water for buildings, or additional heat for phase change from liquefied natural gas to natural gas, or using a suction chiller to more cool down the warehouse. We apply this principle for cooling down the temperature that needs to operate refrigerated the warehouse. The company names the KOREA Cryogenic has applied this technology to commercial operation of 10 megawatt, around 10 megawatt fuel cells since 2018. And definitely, this project perfectly succeeds. And we make our client very happy, because client can save lots of money to cool down the facility. Fuel cell, over the time. Fuel cell units are using as emergency backup power in large commercial buildings and can also be used for smart farm. The concept of smart farm is when we grow the plant, like vegetable, fruit, in greenhouse, they need the carbon dioxide to accelerate the plant's growth rate, including electricity to control the greenhouse. So we are, previous one. Yeah, we are using natural gas. When we use the natural gas as a fuel, there will be a carbon dioxide emission. So we got to use the carbon dioxide as a fruitful product, not the bad guys for climate change. These are also cases where they are used as emergency power in large buildings, such as convention centers and hospitals. 3 units has been installed at the Aberdeen Convention Center in the United Kingdom, and 1 unit at St. Francis Hospital in Connecticut, United States, and those are in commercial operation now. Oh, yeah, these are the commercial buildings in operation. Yeah, that brings me to the conclusion of my presentation today. Once again, I show my deep apology that I might share a little bit shallow information with you, because I should share I want to share lots of information with you in short time. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice President, for sharing with us how the hydrogen industry is developing in Korea. Well, he has said that he has shared with us some shallow information. So if there is any further questions that you would like to ask, he sits right here in front. So come up to him and ask him anytime. And it clearly seems like the Tucson fuel cell will be leading the innovation towards the hydrogen industry. And now we're going to move on to the next topic, which is strategy on utilization of digital twin for sustainable future. And for this topic, we're going to welcome Dr. Lee Yang-gu from Electronics and Telecommunication Research Institute. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yang-gu, and I'm working at in Korea. It is very honored for me to introduce all of you to my research area. So today I'm going to talk about the utilization strategy of the digital twin and its future prospect. So in today's world, the digital transformation is rapidly progressing in every industrial area. So in this era of the digital transformation, we need disruptive innovation in all the industrial and national level based on ICT technology. And maybe we may involve a board and some aggressive investment to realize the digital twin. So today I'm going to talk about the general information of the digital twin, and I will introduce how this digital twin will scale up to the global scales. Oh, sorry. Okay, so today I have two parts of story. First, I'm going to talk about what digital twin is, how it is involved, and what can we get from the digital twin, and what are the technology and some applications in the digital twin area. And second part, I want to talk about how we utilize this digital twin technology in industrial or some other applications. And our final goal, we are trying to, and we are going to the global digital twin, which means the digital twin of the Earth. So for the digital twin, we have the final plan to using this technology to adopt to our planet here. So digital twin will be arrived at that course. Okay, so then what is a digital twin? We can say the digital twin is a digital replica of the physical world. Yeah, this is this is the simplest expression. I think no more definition to for the digital twin like this. And more academically, if I say define the digital twin, yeah, then digital twin is a software representation of the physical asset, systems, or process designed to detect, prevent, and predict and optimize through real-time analytics to deliver business values. So, okay. In the 1970, yeah, NASA in US, they simulated their returning process of the spacecraft, and they successfully get that spacecraft to the landing down. And people say that is the beginning of the digital twin. But NASA didn't mention about the digital twin at the time. So after that, General Electronics, they also simulated their aircraft engines and turbines using the 3D model. And they insist that this is the digital twin. So after that, people follow their concept of the digital twin, and the keyword of digital twin was activated in every industrial area. That's a simple history of the digital twin. So more simply, yeah, if humans see some scenery or some things or some objects by our eyes, and we get some understood information, and we can identify some our targeted object. That's the humans interpreting systems. But robot is not the way like humans. Humans are understanding. So in the view of robot need some digitalized data, and it has to get some information from such data. So we can say the human's view is real world, and a view of the robot is the virtual world. So that means robots see the world using the digital twin. We can say like that. Okay, here's the more definitions of the digital twin, because digital twin is not forced or is not limited definitions, because some application area or some developer or some expert, they just define as what they want want to get some information or some system from the digital twin. So many people define the digital twin differently in each their domains. So for example, we can say the digital twin is a set of the virtual information describing the potential or actual physical product. Or we can say that digital twin is a real mapping of all components in the product life cycle. That is more matched to the manufacturing site, like a smart factory. And we can give define some digital twin as the virtual representation of a device or a group of devices. This definition is more close to the IoT technology. So it's a little bit differently defined the digital twin, but it is very similar, and all the definitions include the comprehensive concept of the digital twin. So we can say this is the same word, same definition of the digital twin. But we have to get some consideration from these definitions, like definitions. So we have some common understanding in these definitions. So maybe, for example, digital twin have to support the digital model to represent the asset in the physical world, or digital twin should look and feel like the real world. And digital twin is not a data model. It must contain the related interactions. That's very important, because in the industrial area, they are designed their own model, and they visualize their systems, and they operate their systems. But now we don't say that is the digital twin. This is just a monitoring system or their ERP system, something like that. But digital twin need more designed architecture and need more architectural data. So with that, after that process, we can say that more detailed information model can be make the digital twin. We say like that. So we need a little bit more. It's a slightly different with the existing system and digital twin. Yeah, it may be confused for us, but now people is on the clearly definition for the new concept of digital twins. So digital twin has some process on the evolution steps. So some technology may be in the traffic, so it's very slowly developed. Some technology can be rapidly progressed, like IoT or 5G and AI. This technology suddenly boomed, and many fields used this technology. So such a technology is very rapidly progressed in the industrial area. So such flows, we can divide some evolution of the digital twin. Like in the initial stage, we can say the digital twin just focused on the information mirroring. After that, digital twin interested in the 3D model and 3D printing, because such a technology is very interest in the industrial area. So digital twin took the such technology to their concept. Then after that, digital twin become important to get the concept of the interaction. And after that, this now digital twin every digital twin should be connected and should be interacted and should be operated each other in all areas of industry. So now this vision, since the 2017, and at that time, since that time, digital twin is boomed up. So, okay, so what we can get some benefit from the digital twin? Simply, we can say the realistic. Digital twin can be realized very realistic using the developed advanced 3D model. And with this 3D model, digital twin can visualize our system or our industry site to monitor or some analyze and planning from the visible or the invisible, like the pipeline on the ground or like the electronic line in the wall. We can see the every visible and invisible things from the digital twin. And we make the simulation functionality of the simulation more detailed. So, and the human experience also, we can make the information in the digital twin. So after get the human experience in the digital twin as the useful data, then we can feedback to the human using the digital twin right then. Okay, so here's a key element technology using in the digital twin. So I can say digital twin is not the new technology, and digital twin is not the focus on specific ICT technologies. If a digital twin if a developer or expert want to something, then digital twin can take all of the ICT technology if they want, if it needed. For example, if someone focus on the creative visual virtual product, then we can adopt the CAD or 3D model technology to the digital twin. And someone interested in the data, more specific data or more detailed data, then we can take the some technology from like AI or data visualization scale or some integration systems here. And someone may want to interact with the digital twin and some physical world, then using some interaction devices, then we can take some AR, VR, or XR systems to interact between the physical world and the virtual world. So any kind of technology can be adopted to the digital twin. So finally, all of digital twin, after getting all of the technology, then this will be approached to the keyword interoperability. That is digital twin's final goal, and the interoperability consists of the information model or some synchronization, some data exchange. That is also such a sub element are included in the interoperability. Okay. In 2016, Gartner divided the IoT evolution model in the IoT area. So they divide the 3 levels evolution model, like 3D visualization and real-time monitoring and analytics, something like that. After that, expert define again the digital twin using based on that IoT evolution model. We added to the 2 more evolution model. So up to level 3 is very similar to the IoT evolution model, but level 4 and level 5 is the more specific and more detailed model. So, and very, very difficult to achieve some targeted objectives. So level 4 is validation. Validation means digital twin is not specific to any domain or any application. Digital twin can be interacted and shared and operated in the whole digital twin systems, like heterogeneous environment or some multiple digital twin environments. That is the federation. So federation targeted to the combine all of the digital twin everywhere. Yeah, such a concept is the federation, and the autonomous is the same with the autonomous vehicle system. Digital twin after step over the federation, then digital twin can think itself and can operate itself and can interact itself with other digital twin objectives without humans interruption. Yeah, that's the final goal of the digital twin. Okay, so to make these objectives, there are some of the digital twin solutions. So actually, digital twin solutions is not new. I mentioned it before. So IoT, the solution companies having the IoT platforms like GE and Siemens or Dassault systems. Yeah, they have their own logic platform in the IoT domain. Then they started to extend their solution to support the digital twin. So they said again their system is the digital twin platform, and they gave some results using their system. So people started to use their system and make it their own digital twin platform in every area. So I can say that this three company is the leader of the solution market in the digital twin. Okay, so using such tools, yeah, we can adopt such tools in the main application domains. So smart factory is most matched to the concept of the digital twin because the reason why the digital twin is boomed up suddenly, that is come from the smart factory. Smart factory owner, they wanted to make it to the automatic factory, and that was not the same the same with the IoT technology. So they extended to the digital twin system. So smart factory is still most interesting the area in the digital twins view. And smart city also, maybe every world and every city now building the smart city using the digital twin technology. They hope if they make the digital twin in all of the city, they just want we can do something more in the digital twin. Yeah, they don't have some specific use case, but after making this infrastructure, then they can do something and they can do everything in this infrastructure. Is their hope. So smart city also very big market and big targeted objectives in the digital twin area. Also, smart energy and smart logistics are try to use the digital twin here. Okay, and another example, the digital twin in the Eureka project, I can say that some Mosinade project. Yeah, this project is quite different with the existing smart factories, because this project, the objective of this project is the level 4. It's aim to the level 4 federation. So this maybe, for example, this here's four countries have their own digital twin, and this is not compatible with each other. So in this project want to share and connect and operate each other in the same ways. So this is the target to the federation level 4. Okay, and another project in Eureka. So some of the project, but those are most focused on the smart factory. So maybe after this, maybe some other domain will be adopted this digital twin, and maybe suggest many project item to the ITA using the digital twin in other domains. Okay, yeah. Next, okay. Let me say how we utilize the digital twin from small scale to the large scale. Okay, so here's the basic information. Yeah, large scale means the digital twin Earth. So we should know why the digital twin or Earth need the digital twin Earth need some technology from the IoT or AI or something, that high technologies. So climate change and disaster is very related to the digital twin Earth. So here's some report. Global average temperature has already risen by about 1.3 Celsius, and 4.5 rise is expected by the end of this century. This is very dangerous. And to keep this warming problem, we need to reduce the green gas energy. And this is related to the climate change in our planet. So, and the most common region of the 10 disasters, like COVID-19 or Amazon wildfire, yeah, that caused by climate change and insufficient disaster management. So digital twin aim to prevent such a disaster or such a climate change in advance. Okay, so international community has declared carbon neutrality as a comprehensive policy direction to combat climate change, and is actively pursuing policies to reduce green energy gas emissions. So UK and EU and Japan is already declared their carbon neutrality and record their declaration into the law. And some other countries are trying to make the documentation of their declaration, and not yet recorded in the law. Yeah, this is a example of how the country try to their effort to prevent the climate changes. Okay, and we may have some questions. Can digital twin reduce the greenhouse gases? I don't know, and not yet the reasonable document in this question. But BCOM in Germany, yeah, they had some experimental result using digital twin. If the digital twin can help for the preventing climate changes. Yeah, they say 50% of reduction of the 2030 target is possible. Yeah, they said like that. And Michael Jensen in Citigenis, yeah, they who is involved in the project of the digital twin of Earth. Yeah, he said big driver for the digital twin adoption is around the decarbonization. And digital twin can help at multiple stages in the process of the making buildings go from the carbon positive to the carbon neutral. Yeah, this is just a positive message, but we don't have any reasonable and any kind of the information or some document about this question now. Okay, so to show the question, if digital twin can help some help for the health of our planet. Yeah, so we can explain about that using the dividing some digital twin in the spatial scales. So from small scale to the large scales, we can say the building group and locale group and city group and region group. And finally, we can divide the nation group. So in the final nation group means the digital twin of the Earth. So every kind of domain or every kind of technology in each domain is finally related to our nation group. Yeah. And climate change is the largest domain and includes the vast amount of data in analysis. Okay, let me see the case of the smart manufacturing. In 2012, in Handomese, they made a slogan called the Green Intelligent. So this means they want to reduce the carbon emissions using the digital twin technologies, and they made some 3 steps of the sequence. Then they said that after arrived the final sequence, then digital twin can make some useful result to reduce the carbon emissions, like that. This is a case of the smart factory in their effort. And they divide some technologies and they divide some element of the items that is influence to the climate change or carbon emissions. So some technology should be considered in some item, some effective items, and then after we consider all of the items then we can finally make some useful result of using the digital twin here. That's the vision of the smart manufacturing site. And in the smart city, we can say the most useful example is virtual Singapore. Yeah, actually they did not want you to reduce carbon emissions in their digital and their smart city. But after build the smart city, they start to think about how we use this smart city in each in every domain or in every use cases, and they tried to make some reduction of the carbon emissions. Like for example, virtual water, and they predict and simulate torrential flooding in the real time. Yeah, that is not targeting to reduce the carbon emission, but it's a related project for that. And Project Neptune also related to the such climate problem. And in the case of the Nanyang Technical University, they analyzed the 5 years of digital twin data to change the way building operation. And they said energy use is saved by 31%. And finally, carbon emissions were reduced by 9.8 kilotons. Yeah, they say it like that. So this is a very useful example how the digital twin can help solve our climate problems. Okay, so here is one more example. Yeah, in Korea, we also have building the many of smart city in each physical city or national based by the national policies. And so Korea Meteorological Administration, they start to build a smart city-based digital twin convergence platform to monitor actual data status of the city's weather and climate, and the soft prediction and simulation of that. But yeah, that is not originally targeted to the to save the some energy from the from the climate changes, but we can get some useful data and make some useful information, and people use that collected data in the every domains. That may helpful for their to achieve their final goals. Okay, then these all kind of the digital twin should be included in the digital twin of the Earth for climate changes. So digital twin of the Earth can help to find the solutions to problem mostly by climate change. And digital twin depict the complex process of the entire Earth system. So here's the very simple example here. So NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, he said they want to make a big platform to solve the climate change, and they want to save our planet. So Jensen Huang said NVIDIA in NVIDIA side, we need to supercomputers a billion times larger than today are needed to efficiently simulate the climate change. That means to analyze the climate change. Nowadays, high technology cannot make such a objective in this time. So he wants to make a AI supercomputer to only analyze our planet. Yeah. So the digital twin of the Earth need to many of the data and many of the computing powers here. Okay, another example in Europe. So in Europe, they suggested the destination Earth is now ongoing work, and the initiative from the European Commissions and the European Space Agency, they try to highly accurate digital model of the Earth to monitor and predict the interaction between natural phenomena and some human activities. And they have some three kind of subsystems. They have data lake, and they have digital twin, and they have a core service platform. They want to use their platform to reduce the carbon emissions and to save the climate problem here for the to save the every world here. So this time just NVIDIA and Europe insisting that we need to try to the digital twin system to save our planet. Yeah, but we can get some useful information or get some better word from them. So okay, so I think the digital twin will be placed in anywhere and any place and any systems in the industry or some other application domains. Because this is not the new technology. For future, this is the mandatory, will be the mandatory systems to operate their own system or operate to their own some targeted objective. So digital twin will be a key technology for the digitalizing the entire physical world. So this will be a basic technology and will be a mandatory technology in our industrial areas. Okay, here's my end of my presentation. Thank you for attention and thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senior Researcher, for your presentation. I truly hope that this key technology will be used as a force for good. And I also hope that the joint projects going on between Korea and the European nations on the level 4 of digital twin will be a success. And now we only have the last keynote speech on our agenda. This will be brought upon by Director General Park Chong-gyo of KIET, who will be talking about the success story of Korea-Europe Technical Cooperation. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon. I'm Chong-gyo Park, Director General of International Cooperation Division at KIET. As the former head of the KIET Europe office, I'm very happy to be back in Europe, and especially in the beautiful city of Estoril. It's getting close to time for dinner. Fortunately, my presentation is much shorter than previous ones. I'm not blaming for the previous speakers. Also, it's a great honor for me to stand here as a speaker to present KIET's collaboration effort with Europe and the success story from the collaboration. Today, I will cover 2 main points. 1, the overview of Korea-Europe Technology Cooperation and its success story. And 2, our suggestion of the focal area for our upcoming collaboration between Korea and Europe. Before I dive into the main content, I'd like to introduce KIET, the Korea Institute for Advancement of Technology, and our major international R&D program briefly. KIET is a government organization under the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Energy. It is a comprehensive industrial technology R&D support organization to promote industrial technology innovation and policy development. KIET consists of 8 divisions mainly, with 422 employees as of 2022, working toward the goal of industrial technology development. And as the name implies, the The international R&D programs are planned and implemented by the Division of International Cooperation. International technology cooperation programs are on the basis of multilateral R&D platform and bilateral R&D agreement. For multilateral R&D, KIAT has officially joined Eureka in 2009, and upon active participation for years, KIAT finally gained its full membership this year. Now I address Korea and Europe Technology Cooperation. There are two main channels facilitating Korea and Europe R&D cooperation, government to government and business to business. On the G2G level, there are four main programs: Global Innovation Summit, Industrial Cooperation, Cooperation Committee, and the International Forum and Memorandum of Understanding between partner countries. The B2B channel consists of missions and events, especially Enterprise European Network is the main network channel for companies between Korea and Europe. Korea has joined the EEN in 2009, and since then, KIAT has been the project coordinator of EEN Korea Consortium. In addition to EEN, KIAT hosts Korea-Europe Technology Cooperation Workshop and company missions and partnering events such as Korea Eureka Day and Global Technology Cooperation Platform. As a result of this active participation, KIAT has developed the various types of R&D programs with Europe. KIAT implements bilateral joint R&D course with 14 partner countries. With some countries, there are thematic sectors agreed to focus on. For example, with Germany, the biggest R&D partner country of Korea, our main focus area are robotics and carbon reduction. These days, the uprising topics are digital and energy, both of which are essential for sustainable growth. For multilateral R&D programs, KIAT actively participate in Eureka, Eurostars, Global Stars, Horizon Europe, and Meranet. For over 5 years, 124 projects have been implemented between Korea and other 49 countries. Among all international R&D programs, Eureka in particular is the most effective one. For over 12 years, the Korean government has subsidized 157 million euros to fund 200 Eureka projects. 412 Korean companies and 1,169 European companies participated, and they generated 38 million euros in revenue after finishing the project. As you see on this slide, the top 5 the top 5 countries of Korea in Eureka are Spain, France, Turkey, Germany, and Finland. In addition to this, Portugal and Korea collaboration account for 3.8% of the entire Eureka project. I personally hope to boost R&D cooperation between Korea and Portugal through the Global Innovation Summit 2022. Now, let me share a success story of the Eureka project that Korea participated. This project is special in that the success was the result of strong cooperation between Korean and Portuguese companies. Taking this opportunity, I convey appreciation for Portugal's support in facilitating technology collaboration between Korea and Eureka. Let's take a look at the video clip of the short interview of Ditonic and Institute of Telecommunication, Portugal.
I am Joaquim Ferreira, a professor at the University of Aveiro in Portugal and a researcher at the Institute of Telecommunications. I was the coordinator of the Celtic Next project SOURCE, which ended last April 2022. The SOURCE project, with 24 partners from 7 countries, succeed to build an end-to-end architecture for road safety, localized weather forecast and air quality monitoring, supported by cooperative intelligent transportation system technologies. Ditonic had a very proactive role throughout the whole project, participating in all project meetings despite the long journey to Europe. All interactions with the Ditonic team were highly constructive and professional. With the key contribution of Ditonic, the source system architecture was experimentally validated in 3 pilot installations, supported by the ETSI-SIM API for cross-border interoperability and extending local dynamic map messages for high-definition road weather forecast and air quality maps.
Hi, I'm Angelo Cognot, Global Business Manager at Ditonic. Ditonic took part on the Celtic Next project called SARS from 2018 to 2022. The project was carried out with IT, Institute of Telecommunication from Portugal. IT has an extensive experience in the field of telecommunication, and it has also an extensive experience and know-how in global R&D management. Its contribution was more than necessary for the success of SARS. Collaborating with IT enables the exchange of latest technology in the field of V2X and connected cars. As the project coordinator, Dr. Joaquim Ferreira and his team had a big challenge to coordinate over 20 institutions from 7 different countries. While collaborating together, we have been exploring further expansion project opportunities.
As you saw, Eureka does not only help technology innovation, but also it helps globalization. I'm sure more of success stories will unveil. Finally, I will discuss the future of Korea with Eureka. As a full Eureka member country, Korea will continue to contribute to Eureka by facilitating Eureka's globalization and technology innovation for our common goal, sustainable development. First, Korea will keep making effort for the global expansion of Eureka. As one of the active Eureka member countries, Korea will actively participate in multilateral meetings to provide global perspectives in future industries. In addition, by monitoring and managing Eureka project for a long term, Korea will contribute to Eureka success stories. We will promote these stories via online and offline channels so that more countries can join in Eureka programs and more companies can participate in the project. Secondly, Korea will collaborate with Europe for sustainable growth. We suggest 4 main sectors on the basis of Eureka's interest for sustainable development. So as you see in this slide, Sdgs sectors for SDGs. Here, SDGs implies semiconductor, digital, green, and space. Korea will strongly engage in these sectors in accordance with Eureka's core strategies. Interestingly, Korea leads semiconductor and digital industries, while Europe has a competitive advantage in the others, green and space. As such, if we cooperate with each other in these technology sectors, I assure that we can accomplish our sustainable development goals. I'm looking forward to the strong synergy between Korea and Europe in the future. Thank you for attention. And again, thank you for coming to 13th Korea Eureka Day.
Thank you very much, Director General, for the presentation. Thank you very much. I truly hope that there will be more success stories being born with Korea joining Eureka as a full member. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to show our appreciation towards our keynote speakers, why don't we give them another big round of applause? Yes, thank you very much, all the speakers, for your insights. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there will be technology cooperation meeting between companies here tomorrow at 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock. So please be here on time and grab the opportunity to build up partnerships together. And as I hope that this has served as a great opportunity for all of us, for Korea and Europe, to take the mutual technology cooperation to the next level, we will end the program here. Thank you very much.